Hello, everybody, and welcome to my personal favorite film from Disney Animation Studios. It's 2016's Zootopia, or Zootropolis for those of us who live in Europe. However, for the sake of convenience, and since most of our audience will probably know it as Zootopia, we'll call it Zootopia for simplicity's sake.
I prefer that name anyway.
Heck, even other Europeans like Zootopia, the name.
I'm going to call it Zootropolis.
Dwebs?
Yes.
Dwebs? I don't care what her name is. I love her all the same. Anyway.
Also, don't be a contrarian, Dwebs.
Anyway, yeah. Basically, everybody, what you're seeing, in case you haven't seen it, what you're basically talking about here is basically think of this as the Black Panther of Disney Animation Studios. It's the movie that definitely established Disney Animation Studios as firmly cementing their return to the throne of Hollywood animation. And they've continued that with Moana later on in the same year. Anyway, so this is a movie that was directed by Byron Howard and Rick Moore, the director of Wreck-It Ralph, and Byron Howard was the co-director of Tangled. So what we have here is two of the most talented directors of the studio joining forces, basically. And Byron Howard being the primary guy who originally created the concept. Rick joined up later. But anyway, let's start this. So start right before the Disney logo. You all know what it is, the modern CGI Disney logo that we all know by this point. So you should be fine. There's no alternate cuts of this movie, so you're fine. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, click.
Yes, I do believe that this was on the cusp when we were having Disney movies that people mistook for Pixar, except it wasn't Pixar because this was during the time that Pixar were getting out of their
which always baffled me because, guys, it says clearly right there in the logo, Walt Disney Animation Studios. And
is the Pixar logo anywhere to be seen?
It's because CGI movies under Disney were automatically considered to be Pixar for some reason.
They ghost-throated, don't you?
It makes no sense for me because Pixar's logo is so iconic with the Luxo Junior lamp. So you'd think they would immediately recognize. Okay, does it have the lamp?
Okay. To be fair, I mainly talk about people who saw trailers of the movie before actually seeing the movie itself.
Yeah, but even the trailers show the logo for a brief second. I don't know.
The point is, it's a Disney movie, not a Disney Pixar movie. A Disney movie,
specifically Disney Animation Studios.
But yeah,
Zootropolis.
And we shall see sooner or later if Pixar will stay out of that slump with Toy Story 4 coming up sooner or later.
Speaking of the whole. Okay, I can speak because I saw this in the cinema. They had whenever Zootropolis was mentioned in the original version, they had to do the line again and say Zootropolis.
Yeah, fortunately, since the word is similar enough and has the same syllables, the scenes are exactly the same no matter which version of the movie you watch. It's just that the word changes, but they recorded the lines with the exact same timing.
Being a bit over dramatic there, kid.
Wow, we're literally starting the movie with an incredibly dark, bloody joke.
Yeah.
We're starting the movie with death.
From the very first
bunny bleeding all over the stage.
From the very first scene, you can tell this is going to be a different type of Disney movie. A Disney movie that is more for adults than kids.
So, yeah, a bit of exposition. Apparently, animals have evolved beyond being their old predator and prey selves.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder, what do the meat eaters still eat?
Meat.
Yay.
Why do you not have a Welsh accent?
Because, Shiroi, remember, not everybody is as savvy about British culture as Richard Marconi would. Sorry. Not to mention, this is an American-made movie, so... What's this? A rabbit as a policeman? Most unorthodox!
Do you want to be a copper?
Oh, okay.
A bunny called you stupid.
Fun fact, by the way, one of the primary reasons why they wanted to make an anthropomorphic animal movie was because John Lasseter and Byron Howard are huge fans of Disney's Robin Hood. Have you guys seen Disney's Robin Hood, where they're also anthropomorphic animals?
Yes. No.
Yep.
Basically, this is kind of like kind of a successor to what that movie did, because and trust me, the design of the other main character of this movie is very reminiscent of Robin Hood's design.
It's weird. I mean, weren't there... Although, I guess to be fair, now that I think about it, not all of Disney's... Okay, it was more so their shows that had anthropomorphic animal worlds, but I will admit, it had been a while since I'd done a movie centered around an anthropomorphic animal world.
Yeah.
Well,
John and Byron wanted to bring that back.
To be fair, one where they walk on 2 feet. Lion King was doing that, but they walked on 4.
Yeah, anthropomorphic, specifically.
Just to get the whole name change thing out the way, apparently the reason why Disney changed the name from Zootopia to Zootropolis over here was because they said to merely allow the film to have a unique title that works for UK audiences.
Which is weird, because isn't Metropolis something that's associated with America?
Anyway, notice how, I would like to mention, because we talked over it, we literally just had Judy's parents. That's Judy, our main character, by the way. Literally, by the way, you shouldn't expect too much. Like those parents are literally telling their daughter to dream low. Like they're saying, don't get your hopes up, because bunnies don't usually become cops. That's not what bunnies do. God damn it, mom and dad, you guys are the embodiment of childhood wonder, aren't you? Anyway, this is a fox that he's a bully, as you can see. Yeah, like he said, foxes used to hunt down rabbits. And
apparently the killer is still in their DNA.
Oh, ow.
Yeah, rabbits can kick pretty hard.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, I was half expecting that. Well, when I first heard that the main character was going to be a rabbit, I thought I thought it was going to be like Thumper's sister or something. What? He's a bit of a dick, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
A bit.
He's a school bully. Of course he's a dick.
But she managed to get back the tickets that she stole. Good job, Judy. Alright, starting from this point, we jump cut to when she's an adult. Okay, Jova, since I'm sure you aren't particularly fond of this casting choice, why don't you tell us about the actress who plays adult Judy?
Why, yes, she's played by none other than frickin' Snow White from Once Upon a Time, so the character cast sits. As for who the actress's name is, why, it's none other than...
Jennifer Goodwin.
Jennifer Goodwin.
Yeah, Jennifer Goodwin, who's a pretty good actress all around.
And she absolutely kills it as this character. Like, she completely nails the character's personality, as we'll see throughout the course of this movie.
Yeah, and considering how let's just say she acts a bit like Snow White from Once Upon a Time. Determined as all heck, doesn't give up no matter how much the world knocks her down. Yeah.
Judy.
Wow, Hendon College of Police Training really took a weird turn.
So yeah, obviously, because bunnies never made it into the police force at all, she's of course seen as the weak link of the training academy people. So, I mean,
but that's not gonna stop her. No siree.
So yeah, she's kind of an underdog type of character, as you can see.
Doesn't help that these courses are kind of, not to her advantage initially, anyway.
What she lacks in size and brawn, she makes up for in brains, though.
Brain, speed, and finesse.
Essentially,
speed.
where she
and by the way, the mayor of Zootopia is a lion played by J.K. Simmons.
Now get me pictures of Spider-Hog.
Right, universe, sir.
Yeah, where she fell short in the first place was due to the fact that she was approaching the way a lot of the.
Hold on, sorry. I think Sorry. Go ahead.
She was approaching it the way a lot of the bigger animals would, which isn't good for her. So she ended up using her own abilities to actually overcome this.
Notice this line here from Mrs. Bellwether, the sheep. Yeah,
it's her old friend from back in school.
Not just that, but notice how she said the victory for the little guys, and she got turned away by the by the mayor.
Yeah.
That's setting up the primary theme of the movie. Let's just say. Not also, it's also foreshadowing something.
So, yeah. Like I said, though, fun fact, there's actually a comic book universe where the Marvel Universe is all anthropomorphic animals, and Peter Parker there is Spider-Hog.
Oh, that reminds me, Jova. Have you seen that book? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Since Disney now owns Marvel, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, I don't know, a Spider-Hog movie, which could actually be in this universe.
Anyway,
you were saying, Pedro?
being old-fashioned, hold on, I might as well mention this. Being old-fashioned that they are, and let's just say Stu, Judy's dad, is a bit of a racist when it comes to foxes, and he's convinced that she should equip herself with anti-fox equipment to make sure she's not, attacked like happened when she was a child. There you go.
Fox away. Yeah.
What about shark repellent? That's what's really important.
It's basically the equivalent to pepper spray and a taser.
Oh my god, I just realized this might be a universe where shark repellent is in higher supply.
Anyway, what I was saying, Jova, was, have you gone to go to YouTube and check out What If Zootopia was an anime? Where they did,
I love those videos.
They redid the entirety of the nudity club, the naturalistic club, sorry, in anime form.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, apparently there's another reason why it's called Zootropolis over here is because a zoo in Denmark registered the name Zootopia.
Okay, that explains it.
That makes sense.
Wait, why would they hate
copyright
If
conflict,
you register
Jova.
the name for copyright stuff, you can't use it anywhere else. Yeah.
2 years, 2 years before the film came out.
I love that joke. The bunny population is constantly rising.
Not just that, but notice how one of the songs she had on her mobile device was "Let It Go." That was a little Easter egg there.
Also, this is the first time I've heard Shakira do a mainstream thing in.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes,
Shakira is in this movie as a gazelle.
yes, yes.
Also, Jova, you mentioned that joke. There's another joke about bunnies in that sense later on as well.
This song is called "Try Everything." It's the primary song of the movie. Oh, and here's another thing. And here's another thing that's going to become obvious.
About this movie? Go first.
One of the primary things about this movie is that this movie has some of the best world building of any movie ever.
Yeah, I was about to say, they actually do make sure to keep into detail how certain worlds would work for animals that they, acted like
there
people.
You go. They have a snow region for the polar bears and stuff like that. They have a smaller section for the rodents. And you can see this just from looking at the background. You can notice all these little details about how exactly all these animals of different species live together. They've there you go. See, and then there's
the only thing this leads me to wonder is how do they eye insects in this? Food probably.
There are no insects in this movie. I'm guessing they probably thought they would be a bit too hard to include them because they're a bit too small.
I remember some internet parody made a joke actually about how insects don't really mean squat to them.
They're probably there. It's just they wouldn't be able to implement them properly.
I mean, I guess to be fair, insects aren't necessarily animals either, so I guess we can still treat them like how we would in this reality.
Go ahead,
Actually, I have a question. Actually, out of the two Disney CGI films that came out in 2016, which is your favorite, Zootropolis or Moana?
Zootropolis. Don't get me wrong, I love Moana as well, but this one in particular, I love this one because it really appeals to me in a lot of ways, and I think it's an overall better movie.
Don't
get me wrong, Moana is fantastic. It's just that this one is better.
This movie, okay, without spoiling,
a little bit more.
Without spoiling, I'll just say it like this: I prefer this movie to Moana, and the same reason I prefer Black Panther to Avengers: Infinity War. That reason will become more apparent by the end of this film.
Hi, Shakira.
It's basically like this, Twibs.
You rule 34 of that.
Not just that. The primary reason is that this movie's plot is more thematically complex than Moana. Don't get me wrong, Moana has a great story, but it's more simple compared to this one. Anyway.
Yeah.
What were you laughing at?
They were saying, hi, I'm your new neighbor. Well, we're loud. Don't expect us to apologize for it.
nearly messing up and saying the American name.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
man.
football and
It's
American football or soccer.
Oh, notice
It's
here.
like
Notice here. Hold on. I love this detail here.
Yeah, whatever. I won't need
Hold
it.
on.
Right.
So it seems like her experience as a young rabbit with Gideon Grey has also kind of created a little bit of a prejudice, even if unintentional, even if it's subconscious, it is there. Oh, I love this one. There's a great line in this scene.
Oh, yes.
Just listen to this. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Disney just equated the word cute to the word, well, Jova. Say it, Jova.
Yeah.
You can say it, Jova, so go ahead.
No.
I don't even like saying it, but yes, you know the word that basically blacks can call ourselves because we were called it. We turned it into a champion word, but other people do not have the right to call us that because it's derogatory.
That's kind of
I always
some gay people have, used.
I always interpret. Sorry.
No, some gay people have adopted like the word queer in that sense as well, which also used to be used in a negative connotation.
Yeah.
I always interpret it as and a guy who's not a rabbit can't really do that because otherwise that's kind of gross. That's how I always interpret it.
No, it's definitely.
That's not it's so blatantly what we just said.
In comes
ladies and gentlemen,
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, like they got such a fantastic cast for this movie.
I gotta say, Idris Elba has been on a roll. He was in this. He was in Jungle Book.
Star Trek Beyond. I also love
Star Trek Beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him in Star Trek
what
Beyond.
else? And I think he's in something that's coming up that's looking bad.
Look, it's the elephant in the room.
You know how Disney kind of screws the UK over with the release dates of these films?
What do you mean?
Usually the UK gets these movies way later for no real reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wibbs.
But you got the MCU films before us.
Let's not get into that. Go ahead, Wibbs.
It wasn't so bad this time. The US got it on March the 4th. We got it on March the 25th. So at least it was within the same month.
So now you know how we suffer with the MCU, how you get that early.
Anyway.
Well, quite a few MCU films are filmed here in the UK.
It's okay, though. No hard feelings.
So yeah, he's distributing assignments.
What's the first bunny gonna do?
Oh.
She's a meter maid, the poor thing.
Also, I love how he delayed saying that, as though he was intentionally being a dick.
He is a dick, and I think
he is kind of a dick, but he does have his redemption from the way he treats Judy.
Oh, Siri.
Yes.
This is what Luffy would be like if he were a bull.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention his quote-unquote dickishness is also kind of part of the arc of the movie in general, so you'll see for yourself.
It's also how that kind of character is usually portrayed anyway, in his role, so...
And to give him credit, in real life, it makes sense that a new member would start off with lesser duties, too, in a sense.
Yeah, you only just started.
A golf buggy moves faster than that.
Alright, so ZPD, Zootopia Police Department. Anyway.
Now everyone's doing it.
So yeah, thanks to her rabbit hearing, she can be really quick about noticing the parking meters expiring. There you go.
So yeah, to give him credit, it is a duty that does actually go with her benefits.
Another thing
it's
about
just not
this
what she personally wants to do.
Another thing about the direction of this movie. This movie is impeccably paced. There's never a dull moment, and it moves on so smoothly like butter.
And before anyone worries that means that there's never a quiet moment, don't worry,
there
there's
are plenty of them.
Them kind of parking meters aren't really a thing here in the UK.
No.
I love that.
Oh, you're lost. Well,
there you
actually,
go.
no,
200 tickets.
Actually, maybe it's your gain.
Oh, hold on. 201.
Oh.
Yeah, that's coming out of your wages.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet our other main character, and my personal favorite character of the movie, Nick Wilde. Played by Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman from Arrested Development. For those who don't know... Sorry, go ahead.
Apparently a few apparently pretty bad comedy films.
Jason
Yeah,
Bateman.
everyone's got their slumps.
Jason Bateman. Anyone who's seen Arrested Development knows that Jason Bateman has mastered the art of playing the witty con man type of a character, and this is just him basically, just doing his business as usual.
Ew. I would not touch this restaurant with a barge pole.
Yeah,
Same.
Enough.
Trust me, Dwebs. I feel you there. I feel you. However, Judy's gonna point it out eventually, as you'll see. Then, notice how she's already getting the fox repellent ready. So despite what she claims, she said to the parents in the earlier scene, Dad, Mom, Gideon Grey was just a jerk who happened to be a fox. So even though this is a very interesting way of portraying your main character, even though she doesn't intend to be prejudiced towards foxes, her subconscious sometimes gets the better of her because, that
internalized prejudice is more common than you'd think.
Yeah, that traumatic experience as a child didn't help, of course.
Also,
again,
that action is very topical for this time. Uncomfortably topical, in fact.
Yeah.
When was it not going to be topical?
This is always going to be topical. I mean, Land Before Time did this back in the
80s. Although I guess to be fair, considering the villain of this film, I can see where Shorei's coming from. We'll get to that when we get to that.
That's not even, but we'll get to it anyway. Here we go. Listen here, do us.
Oops.
Thank you. And yes, she is right in that. Anyway, basically what happens is Nick wanted to buy a popsicle for his quote unquote elephant son. But a lot of people in Zootopia are racist, so he wouldn't sell it.
15 for an ice cream.
Well, it's a big one, though, as you're about to see.
When I first saw this, I thought, something's a bit fishy.
Nah, you think?
Well, he is being played by Jason Bateman.
Well, it's not even that.
I never really heard that much about Jason Bateman.
There you go. See, Webs, for a popsicle of that size, you have to admit, the price is kind of right.
The price is kind of good, considering.
Not for an elephant. For an elephant, that's tiny, and he usually only sells to elephants. And
Elephants
bigger creatures.
Maybe he was overcharging them deliberately, but even so, considering his size, that's a huge ice cream.
If I recall correctly, it's hinted that, animals sort of make varied prices based off of size, too, considering how their lifestyles are.
Listen here, because I think we talked about Zootopia. Yeah, this is the primary logo of the city of Zootopia. Anyone can be anything.
Anyone can cook.
This is the only thing I'm going to say about it because, now I know why the name change was a thing. But generally, I usually prefer the name Zootopia because it is a play on the word utopia. It's a play on the word utopia. And considering the story and this entire environment in general, calling this place a utopia makes a lot more sense.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I prefer Zootropolis because it sounds cool. I'm a simple guy.
Hold on, listen here. Check this out. Whoa. Hello.
Yeah, do it in full view of the public. That'll.
Yeah.
Technically, Dwebs, as this particular action is not illegal in any way, shape, or form. He's just, melting the ice cream. So apparently the baby's the one who drives.
And he's taking it to the Polar Land. Interesting.
He's one of the people who clothes the same thing.
Manufacturing popsicles.
Popsicle, get it? Ha ha ha.
You genius.
Let me brothers. So he resells the popsicle to these rodents.
Now, maybe this wouldn't be so bad. The only issue is that he kind of tricked Judy into it. Also, does he have a license for this?
We'll address that, Jova.
Hey, at least they're recycling.
And now the baby takes all the sticks.
Well, they really are recycling. Dang.
Oh, this one.
Well, you can't blame them for that.
What's it called?
And they use it for lumber.
It's red wood. Huh?
Okay, now they're scamming.
Oh, wait, I love this one. Listen here.
I thought that was Vin Diesel for a second.
Nah.
That's kind of his catchphrase. It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
That's not going to come back to bite him in the ass later.
Oh, here you go, Jova. Wood that is red.
Yeah.
No, he's probably my favorite character in this too.
Fun fact, actually, the elephant in the ice cream shop is actually voiced by John DiMaggio.
Oh, and I'd like to mention this part because I've got an interesting bit of trivia. Here's an interesting thing about that Kumbaya gag. The whole Kumbaya thing doesn't really work as a joke here in Portugal, so we took liberty and changed that line and put in a Lion King reference where he says, "Oh, we all join together and sing Hakuna Matata." So there you go.
So how come Kumbaya doesn't work in Portugal?
Let's just say, Jova, it's not. Nobody here in Portugal is familiar with it. It's a culture thing. It was a necessary change. Well, we mentioned sneak in a Lion King reference.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I just didn't know that there was a country who didn't know about Kumbaya because a lot of countries kind of took a slice out of Africa for colonization.
True, but we were not one of them. So,
although, what about World War One?
It's been way too long since then, Jova. Nobody's alive at this point.
I guess. Fair enough. Oops. Well, he didn't lie.
So yeah, what Nick was saying while we were talking is that, look, let's think about this for a moment. You came here to be a cop, but turns out, guess what? Zootopia, not everybody gets along. It's all bull crap. And eventually you're going to become a depressed old lady who did nothing but be a meter maid, because that's kind of how the real world is. Too bad.
This definitely does make sense.
Let's see here.
It's the depressed soul gower.
That's another thing. This movie is flawlessly written. Like, every joke hits, and the story overall moves so.
Really? All that for one carrot.
That's probably an accurate portrayal of microwave meal. So
the meal is called Carrots for One.
Oh, boom.
Oh, crap.
And she has an iPhone.
It's not mine, by the way.
Well, remember, Shiroy, Apple has a great relationship with Disney, because remember, it was from Disney bought Pixar from Apple, and Stephen Jobs in particular was a shareholder at Disney because of that. So they have a very strong relationship with Apple.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not a real cop. The parents saying it's right in front of her.
What I love about the parents is that, yes, they're technically really, they have such complete resignation with the status quo and but at the same time, they do it out of concern for. Oh, hold on. Hold on, listen. Wait for it.
Basically, she lives amongst the most pessimistic people in the world.
But yeah, like I was saying,
Oh, I love this bit in a minute.
jeez.
Dang. Well, to be fair, hippos are kind of a-holes even in the animal kingdom.
Anyway, yeah, what I love about it is how the parents, despite
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we've got a chase scene coming up.
that's another thing about this movie. This movie has so many brilliant scenes, like it's kind of hard to even stop.
Okay, there's a little very good bit of Easter egg humor coming up with the characters he's chasing.
Yeah.
Also, about the score.
The music is great.
Giacchino's score is more of a subtle score compared to, say, Moana's score. However, I think it works better because this is a much more thematically complex movie and a more mature movie compared to something like a typical Disney movie. So it makes sense that the score wouldn't be, the typical Giacchino Williams-esque stuff that he usually
Also,
likes.
from what I've heard, I don't think Lin-Manuel Miranda really does subtlety by any means.
Well, that's different. I mean, that's a musical. I mean, anyway.
No. He wrote the songs for Moana.
I know
Most of them.
Well, that's
A lot of them, anyway.
That's what I'm saying. But like, it wouldn't make sense to have him do the music for this movie. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But Jova just mentioned the Easter egg thing. Well, this particular weasel is voiced by Alan Tudyk. That's right. Alan Tudyk continues to be the John Ratzenberger of the Disney Animation Studios. Ever since Wreck-It Ralph, he's been in every one of their movies, and this is yet another one.
Not only that, but he played a character in Frozen called Wesselton, who everyone mistakenly called Weaselton, and now he's playing an actual weasel.
Not just that, but his name will actually also be a reference to that, but we'll get to it.
I love how to the people living here, the bunny and Tudyk animal are pretty much Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Also, the hamster tubes, I guess. Or
Yeah.
So I have to wonder: is this like the movie Downsizing, where it turns out that living smaller somehow saves you on your insurance?
Ha ha ha! Because policemen are like donuts.
Oh crap!
That would have killed her.
yeah.
Oh, Target. Nice.
And she killed him.
And obvious joke coming in 3, 2, 1.
Ow.
Ha ha ha.
Up goes the weasel.
He does have a point, actually.
Well, it's not my fault the structure of these houses isn't very good.
Oops.
Oh,
I don't give a shit.
Speaking of fan service, here's another reference coming up.
Yep.
Dang.
Didn't Disney do this thing afterwards anyway?
Poor Clawhauser.
I've forgotten. Is this the main plot? I'm going off to try and find.
Yeah, find Otterton, yes.
And it ends up leading into the main point of the movie.
Hey.
Your tax dollars at work,
insubordinate. Well, he does have a point actually. She insubordination. It's not her call to decide which cases she's assigned to. It's the chief's role.
I know.
He does have a point. He does have a point actually.
I would agree, but from the way he's acting, it seems like they never took the case to begin with.
Let's just say, Shiroi, there's a bit of a certain detail to it that makes things tricky for the police office.
Not just that, but there's always, of course, the prejudice angle.
So yeah, the police chief can't go against the mayor. So
well, in this case, vice mayor, but yeah. Because remember, the mayor is J.K. Simmons. All right, so she has 2 days. Otherwise, she resigns. Yeah.
By the way, your 48 hours started 47 hours.
Fun fact: there's actually a deleted scene that was supposed to happen before this one we're watching right now, where she's checking the name in the police database computer. However, there you go. As Claudia just said, she's not in the system yet, so they had to delete it. But it was a really fun scene. Check it on YouTube. It's really fun.
Is that the one with the keyboard?
Yeah.
Last known sighting, a place where they didn't even write down the name of the street.
Thanks, Kohlhauser. Wait.
Murdered by Ice Lolly.
You know, considering some cases of Ace Attorney, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like Mr. Bateman is involved.
Norman Bateman, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't me this time. Oh shit. So in a year, he makes like $3,560.
Very good, Jules. Very good, Dubs. You can do math.
About that.
Oh. Actually, I might have done the math wrong. Sorry.
Wait.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, tax evasion. Enjoy yourself with Wesley Snipes.
And he reported 0. So, yeah.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
A lot of money.
Shut up. and also, you'll be arrested too because you're an accomplice.
Actually, no, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, there's no proof he was involved.
Ooh.
But I can hardly fit in the car.
He went weird. I guess someplace to find Nirvana.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Naturalist Club scene. This is the scene that made people wonder how the hell did this get past the censors.
Yeah, Pedro. It's nothing we don't see every day. It's just animals without clothes. We see that every day in real life.
There's nothing in particular about this that would make it weird.
Now, if this were anime, they would have given them boobs. Then we would have had stuff to talk about.
Bunny Scout cookies.
Oh, what do you know? There are insects in this universe.
I'm guessing they're just regular insects that don't actually have...
Yeah.
They haven't... The insects haven't evolved, apparently.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably that case.
His yoga instructor.
So I had to wonder, in terms of meat eaten in this universe, is it animals that donate their bodies to science and, I don't know, edibility after they die or something?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They never explain how the carnivorous
nutrition requirements are of this.
My guess is, Shiroi, they have special... Because there are other ways of getting protein. I mean...
And now the animators are on drugs.
Dwebs, again, this is literally the equivalent of walking into a nudist club.
Or nudist speech.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, good.
What, you don't lick yourself either? Oh, wait, that's
How
right, you're
this
not a
didn't
feline.
get removed in the UK version, I don't know.
Look at... Oh my god!
Well, hey, they edited out the genitalia, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So this teacher has such a poor memory that it makes
Hold
me
on, but it's okay, Dwebs. I assure you, Nagi has the mind of a steel trap. Just listen.
Remember, an elephant never forgets.
Remember that, Nagi?
Again, an elephant never forgets.
Remember that,
You're not
Nagi?
living up to the stereotype.
I always thought, was that a reference to...
The
No.
joke that elephants are supposed to remember everything, but
No,
it's
no, I
not.
thought that,
No, I think
that
he's
whole-
talking about the registration number.
No, it's
Yeah,
not. It's
hold
just a random one. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get the primary iconic DMV scene that Disney used as an actual trailer. I'm not even kidding. They literally took out that entire scene and used it as a trailer. Then they put it right before
Which-
Star Wars Force Awakens.
Which, to be honest, it kind of lessened the humor because they showed the trailers a lot around here.
But you have to admit, Dwebs, it was a brilliant marketing move on their play because it's such a great scene. It made everybody want to check out the movie, and the movie passed $1 billion at the box office, so it worked.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
DMV, again, a thing that's not a thing around here.
Wait, what? Then what do you have?
Well, how about this,
We
Dwebs?
got the-
Public
We
officials.
got the DVLA.
Whatever.
Whatever. They're the same thing, essentially.
Same thing, different name.
So, okay, instead of the staff being intentionally horrible to people and slowing down, they have sloths.
Makes
This
sense.
can only go well. So, yeah, as for how much movie this made, let's see. This movie was made on a budget of $150 million, and its box office got $1.024 billion, and it is now currently the 31st highest grossing film of all time.
Well, it made a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you saying just because the sloth can be fast? Yeah. In Zootopia, anybody can be anything. Exactly.
But that's how they are.
Pedro. That's a microaggression against sloths.
True.
Also, pretty sure the whole point of this joke is how slow.
Notice that cut, by the way. You
the-
want it
Whatever
when?
it is, apparently is.
Yeah. Again, here's the thing. People at the DMV for some reason tend to be miserable, and they want to make everyone who comes to get their license or wants to do anything with them miserable.
This is
Here,
the kind of-
staff are
sorry.
genuinely nice. The problem is that, well, they move naturally slow.
This is the kind of humor you would find in an episode of The Office.
Yeah. Dang. Does he hear slow too?
By the way, notice notice
Don't be so rude. He hasn't finished speaking yet.
notice Nick's face while this is going on, because Nick's
Yeah.
face is priceless.
Payback.
Yes.
That face just speaks 1,000 words.
Where's the zero gone?
No.
Stop wasting time.
And here we go.
Yeah, wait for it.
What if he did this scene in slow motion?
That's actually how it is when people laugh. The problem is that particular facial movement is so fast that you can't see it. Oh, there we go. No, he's gonna tell us to. Fun fact: that's Anna from Frozen right there.
Yep.
Well, after 500 years, we have finally got the plate.
Not quite.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You weren't
Well,
there that long, come on.
Well, you've wasted half a day.
Unless time flies really quickly there.
Honesty.
Even though that will mean my own downfall too.
We'll get to that.
You're gonna have to go and get it.
For like a bunny.
How did she?
She dug for the snow. Remember, Drips, she's a rabbit.
And now she doesn't need a warrant because he's technically a convict who she can say she pursued into there.
Yep.
So there you go. Loopholes.
Loophole, bitches.
Only in a Disney movie, as Tia would say.
Oh. Okay. Oh, this one.
Cute.
I do.
I do?
I'm guessing Nick is very hip.
Anyone who buys Sonic Mania Plus Edition physically is going to be into CDs.
Well, that's Blu-ray though.
That's
not
only
CD.
that's only the Japanese version, though.
And I don't use vinyls
Sure.
either.
If you get Sonic Mania Plus physically, you'll get like the art book and the Mania CDs with them.
Anyway.
It only seems to be the Japanese version that has the sound.
So yeah, apparently, if the otter was here, if the otter was here, it definitely had a bad day. Look how many scratches you. Oh, okay. Oh crap, who is it?
We have ourselves a little problem.
Just a little one.
Nope.
Well, now we're going to get to the Godfather parody.
Yes, but first there's also this one. First of all, Zoogle photos. Ha 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 ha. All right, I love this one here.
Oh. Wait, hold on. They have fur rugs made from other animals too in this universe? Again, I just hope that these animals have a donation system where they're dedicating their bodies to this. Otherwise, that's like the equivalent of me having a human skin for a rug. Nah. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Mr. Big.
Played by Maurice LaMarche. For those who don't know, he's the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
And he's
And
also the current voice of Dr. Embryo in the Crash Bandicoot series.
And does a good Orson Welles impression.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Godfather.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, God, the butt of a skunk? That was just mean. Oh, God. Yeah, you brought a cop before the Godfather.
Oh dear. Famous last words.
About that being the last thing you'll do.
Yeah.
Well, too bad you're going to be killed by, literal ice.
Oh!
Wait, this bit.
Irony.
I don't remember this scene in The Godfather.
One good
How lucky.
turn deserves another.
And then what if they accidentally dropped them in the ice?
Well, they did put them down. Aww.
and the fox's reaction is like, ugh. Yeah, okay, now is the scene from The Godfather. So where's the Al Pacino animal?
Eh?
The Al Pacino
Oh,
equivalent. Joe.
Maybe we'll see it sooner or later.
Well, as long as it's good, yeah.
I believe in Zootropolis. Zootropolis has made
Zootropolis has made my
fortune.
fortune.
Oh, wait, what?
An otter scared a polar bear? The heck?
And here's another thing, yeah, like you said.
But an otter of all things? Oh, guess the driver wasn't a polar bear.
No, the driver was a... No, the driver was a
actually
panther.
Something more ferocious than a polar bear. The driver was a panther.
Yep.
Oh. Huh. A jump scare from an otter.
The Night Howlers. Huh.
What can you tell me about the Watchers?
Yeah, of course. Of course it is. Ha. Get it? Clever fox, dumb bunny.
Funny, considering Song of the South.
No, not really.
He's had better days. Geronimo! Oh, gosh.
Well, crap.
Just run. It's opposite day! We also speak too soon. Oh, this is just good. Perfect. Great.
Yay. Yeah, exactly. Oh, never mind, Joe. It's a jaguar, not a panther.
Wait, what?
She just said the driver was a jaguar, not a panther.
Wait, was she... Huh. Odd.
Well, jaguars are similar to panthers, so...
Yeah, jaguars aren't black, you know.
Oh, they aren't? Well, I'm
And panthers are black.
not familiar. Well, what color are jaguars usually?
They're kind of... They look like cheetahs.
Oh, really?
Oh, never mind. Never mind, he was a jaguar. I guess he was a black jaguar, though normally jaguars aren't black.
Whatever, doesn't matter. So yeah, he's telling her to give him the badge.
No.
Huh. Good point.
Guys still there?
Yeah.
Alright.
Of course.
So what have I missed?
The jaguar went nuts, and the Judy saved Nick's life, and to repay her, Nick helped her out with the police chief. Speaking of quiet moments, like Jova was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought the plot was just going to be he was the school bully.
No. We're actually going to meet the school bully later on.
My alarm bells would have been raised when they turned out the lights. Where'd their scout leader go?
Trust me, Dwebs, when the scout chief is away, scouts can be really dicks. But so yeah, Nick was also a victim of prejudice when he was Judy's age. So they have a lot more common than they thought.
Mm-hmm.
And younger Nick's voiced by Kat Susie, by the way.
Yay.
Also, believe it or not, the original idea they had for the movie was be far more fucked up than this.
Here's the best line. Yeah, sure.
So, Roy, how about we tell the audience about the original idea there, shall we?
The original idea for Zootopia was to have every single predator wear a collar where the moment they even think of doing anything aside from being just, submissive, calm puppets, they would get a shock. And the shock would
They can't even be excited, like, in a happy way. They would just be shocked.
Predators were literally being, what's the term?
Shock therapy. It's shock therapy is
yeah,
what it is.
Basically. Eventually they changed that because, okay, we've made Zootopia way too fucked up to the point where it's impossible to even like this place, so let's scale it down a bit.
They even had, like, a coming-of-age ceremony where a father bear put one of the collars on his kid's son.
So yeah.
It was very... bleh.
So yeah, poor Bellwether. I mean, J.K. Simmons doesn't give her any value.
Don't be sheepish.
Man, J.K. Simmons is a dick. man, J.K. Simmons is a dick. Oh, I love this one.
Yeah, right.
It's not like I know what joke they're going for, actually, but yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
She didn't feel a fig. It's that thick.
The sheep.
I guess the sheep population's the biggest out of all.
Well, yeah, Dwebs. But actually, we're actually going to specify those numbers later on, Dwebs. So stay tuned.
Seen whales?
Don't worry, Dwebs. We're actually going to specify the exact numbers that you just asked. Just hold on. Hold on until we get to that part.
Well, J.K. Simmons playing a dick, I'm not surprised.
All right.
So yeah,
let's check the traffic cams.
Anyway, I looked it up, and apparently I was mistaken. About the panther thing. Apparently, he is technically a panther in the sense that panthers actually go for 4 kinds of different animals: cougars, leopards, and all that jazz. So yeah, apparently he was a black jaguar, which is a form of panther. Go figure.
The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
There you go. So there you go. They were kidnapped by wolves after when they've gone savage. So she's thinking, okay, so maybe the wolves are the night howlers. Makes sense. All right.
Now, where
And they
will
get
we
thrown
find
into
wolves?
pretty much a mental asylum.
So now where will we find a bunch of wolves?
Oh, I know this one.
Hey,
Me
you know
being
how
one of you.
it's like how Catch Me If You Can. Sometimes the best cops are those who've been criminals themselves because they know the criminal mind works.
Well, that's kind of like how Eugene works in Tangled.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Byron Howard was one of the director, was the primary creative force behind this movie. So, all right, time to take advantage of the wolf stereotype. But what are you doing, Nick?
Doing that Doctor Who scene.
Oh crap!
My wife.
I like how he just tilted his head like a dog.
Instincts.
Yeah,
Gosh dang instincts.
like Mr. Big said, we have evolved, but at the bottom line, we are still animals.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite jokes. They even do this in Family Guy. It's like, for as smart Brian thinks he is, he's still a dog, and he does dog things. I do like jokes like that.
Mm-hmm. So, best way to sneak in through is, of course, the sewer.
Fortunately, we skipped the sewer level through editing.
Yeah. But Sue, as I mentioned, therefore Tyrion now hates this movie.
I wish I could skip the Crash 2 sewer levels.
Well, hey, you can
Oh,
go
I
around
this one, I know this
stuff and you can crash Rapid Cortex.
I don't want to die.
Well, technically, he does have a point. He's not even supposed.
Yeah,
He's not even supposed to be here. He's only here because she kind of forced him. Uh-huh.
Claw markings.
Ah,
Jesus.
hi, Mr. Tiger.
Don't want jump scares in my Disney movie.
Maybe it's Shere Khan. That's why.
You know what's
That's
funny?
where he headed up after Jungle Book.
Well, it makes sense considering how in Tailspin he's a legitimate businessman.
Yeah, there you go. We found Mr. Munches, and I'm guessing Otterton is probably in here too. Let's see. Oh,
Are we in alphabetical order here or something?
He's out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found Mr. Otterton.
Oh, never mind, he's in there.
So yeah, all of these animals went completely savage. Huh.
Who's in charge of the operation?
Well, Chief Bogo, obviously. Oh, you mean this particular facility's operation? Okay, it's J.K. Simmons.
Basically, Mayor Lionheart.
Yeah. But surprisingly, he's actually trying to, understand why they went savage and to reverse it. And yeah, the only animals going savage are predators, and we can't keep this a secret. We have to tell the public.
He does have a good point, though. If he goes to it, though, he's a predator, and
yeah, he'll be ruined. Yeah.
So he's after. He's trying to save his own skin.
Basically, he's trying to save. Oh, Mom, Dad, God damn it!
No, not even that, Judy. There is a silent button that you can activate.
Yeah, there's a switch. I'm watching this on my phone right now. All you got to do is press the switch down, No, bad
And it's
silence.
fine.
Eh? Weird.
You can turn the vibrate off and everything.
Yeah, there's a little switch you can. There's a little switch you can flick on iPhones anyway.
Depends on the phone, Jova.
iPhones.
Well, different phones have like
Thank
different ways
goodness
of doing the same
toilets are
thing.
big enough for the job.
Well, at least they managed to save themselves by flushing themselves down the toilet. Hold on, let's hear. There you go. He's called her by her first name for the first time. Okay, so apparently Chief Bug was also a Gazelle fan.
Oh, by the way,
I love this one.
Wait,
Hold on.
wait, wait.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, Gazelle's voiced by Shakira, and fun enough, Shakira also does the voice for Gazelle in the Spanish dub.
Well, makes sense. She's Hispanic.
Yeah.
He does have a point, though. Yeah.
He does actually have a point there.
I've noticed. All they did was dub Zootropolis over everything. The mouth movements still clearly say Zootopia.
Whatever.
Well, Dwibs, you're asking them to reanimate stuff like
That
again.
takes a lot of work.
They're Disney. They'll probably cost them their
Also, this
equivalent of
scene is
pocket money.
important, by the way.
Oh, you go. This one. Yeah, this is the way to look smart. Answer questions with your own questions.
Doesn't want to be too much in the spotlight.
However, she's been faking. Aww.
Employment application form.
You do realize, Judy, that if you're going to be partners, you need to get rid of that fox repellent, because that's kind of... Yeah.
They'll address that, I think, in a little while.
So what could possibly go wrong before we're near the end of the film?
Maybe it's meant for a different kind of fox.
No, it's just foxes in general. Anyway, we're about to get...
conference.
We're
What
ab-
could possibly go wrong?
We're about to get what is... We're about to get what is, in my opinion, the best scene in the entire movie.
One of them, definitely.
Definitely. One of them.
Oh.
Well, that's the truth. Yeah, well, it is the truth.
Judy, let's be careful with what we say. Come on. That's Gideon Grey talking.
Who?
The bully from the beginning of the movie. Remember, that's what he said, that predators have it in their DNA.
This is why we have a script.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't write
Especially
a
for
script.
interviews like this.
That's her.
You are not a public speaker,
So
Judy.
yeah, like we've been foreshadowing throughout the movie, even though she means well, her trauma still kind of subconsciously created a prejudice that she still can't quite shake off, at least not entirely.
I'd have thought the police chief would have been considered a predator.
What? Dwibs, he's a herbivore.
He's a How can a herbivore be a predator, Dwibs?
They'll eat the food and cause a massive.
Oh, here we go. Listen.
Oops.
Was what you heard in the facility.
But Judy should know better.
Oops.
Eh.
Yeah.
Oh, Judy, stop talking.
You're kind of using the wrong words here.
Yeah.
It's called putting your foot
Yeah,
in your
there you
mouth.
go.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, look where Ant's going.
And he actually filled the form.
Oh, you know a fun fact, actually? If you pay attention to that form, there's actually some little details noticed on there.
Yeah.
It's a
Pause it on the
the
Blu-ray and read it. It's awesome. Anyway, like I'm not even kidding. When I saw this scene in the theater, I literally had my jaw drop. Wait, this is a Disney movie?
Well, I mean, I guess it's Disney's way of kind of making up for Song of the South.
I guess, yeah.
I can imagine some of the kids like, "Mommy, Daddy, what does that mean?"
That is what we call racism, honey.
Trust me, Shiroi. Wait till you see Avengers: Infinity War, because trust me, a lot of kids are gonna.
Don't you mean
Yeah.
Black Panther?
Well, that ending though, Jova. You know what I mean.
Oh, well, I mean, I was talking about, the themes we're talking about.
True,
I mean,
that works. That works too. Yeah, but I'm talking about in terms of trauma specifically.
I wouldn't exactly say that Infinity Wars. Okay, you're talking about that. Fair enough.
Yeah, go.
You have to remember, Jova, a lot of 9-year-old, 10-year-old kids of today are being introduced to these characters via the MCU. So, yeah.
I get that. I was just thinking that you were talking about the themes at hand, and I was thinking
the ending more like. But yeah, let's see.
That's it, though. Yeah, there are traumas here and there, but yeah, definitely.
So yeah, and that was Shakira's performance as Gazelle, basically. She, and in true celebrity fashion,
one thing that actually does help out with this. Like, well, it's not just her to be there for the sake of being a celebrity. It's like, well, she's a celebrity who actually is trying to use her influence for good, as opposed to just looking good.
Yeah,
because she's actually speaking in favor of the Predators.
Rhyming.
I thought it was incredibly ballsy of them to just expect kids to sit down and just pay attention to this incredibly quiet third act.
Well, apparently kids did pay attention to it, considering the reception of this. But hey, Jodie's now a hero!
And sadly, yeah, there you go. We're 90% prey. There you go, dudes. The city is 90% prey. There you go.
Which is kind of how it is.
Also about the sheep population more than prey in general.
We don't have that specific number, but this one is round in general. Oh, there you go. And now Chief Bogo also gets a little redemption moment, as you're about to see. Oh, here you go, listen.
I love that line.
Me as well. Oh, there you go. Chief Bogo respects her now, see?
The reason Chief Bogo's character works is like, well, he was never even really... Okay, he himself does admit he may have been a part of the issue too, and he never was trying to well, yeah, he was a bit malicious to her. The difference is that he actually does recognize that. And it's not just a special case where she's the only one. Like, this actually does influence him to do better by others, too.
Yeah.
By the way, Bellwether's now the mayor.
Well, yeah, she was the vice mayor before, so it makes sense.
And another thing I like about this moment is, well, it gives Lionheart a bit more depth to him. Well, yeah, he was doing it to save face, but when you think about it, him saving face was kind of for the greater good in the sense that, like he said, if he came forward to it, well, yeah, look what just happened.
Yeah.
The problem is that they had no idea what was turning them, and without that clear answer, of course, the media was going to run wild with anything.
And that's overall what makes this movie, to me, the best movie the studio has ever made in their long history, because the themes are so strong and so perfectly executed.
I mean, it's a movie tackling racism, and it does it expertly.
And there you go, Dibs. Gideon Grey became
a salesman,
a work partner. There you go. See, he inspired her parents to stop being racist bigots, and now they're working with Gideon Grey, even though he's a predator and a fox. So there you go. Even the parents get their character development.
That's how a lot of bullies work, actually.
Yeah.
Very few bullies would actually
Wow,
apologize for any of the shit they did, though. That's the thing.
Well, actually, a lot of time when they grow up, they actually, mellow out. I mean, it's mostly in their youth that they're jerks, not so much.
No, they do mellow out. Definitely, it's just they don't apologize.
Hold on. What did you just say? Night howlers.
Dag.
A bunny can go savage.
When you ate the thing.
But if you consume the flower, it will give you special Black Panther powers.
One interesting thing about the film's production. 8 months before the film's release, it was apparently supposed to be a really, really gloomy dystopian film.
We already talked about that, Bibbs.
Wait, you did?
Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about the shock collars and everything. Anyway, Shiroi,
Yes.
to address your worries, there you go. They even mention it comes with the Sega Genesis cover, CD, art book, and everything.
Not for nothing, guys, but that's kind of off topic.
Actually, you mentioned that earlier, and it's a blank.
That's why I
number here.
typed about it in the chat.
Yeah, but I'm still mad at you. Sorry.
Now, if only we could have actually waited till we knew that before the interview.
All right. Now Miss Goodwin gets her chance to show off her acting chops.
Well, she already was, but here's where she excels.
Indeed.
But now I can't see. I love a little bit at the end. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be the ringtone.
In 48 hours.
This isn't subtle at all.
She goes from the dark and sees the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's not subtle at all, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's Disney, so when have they ever been subtle?
Subtlety can be overrated anyway.
Yeah, that's why Ace Attorney's great.
Indeed.
Well, as long as you don't go too far in the other direction, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing is.
Oh, and by the way, here's another thing that it's pretty. As you can see, he's now eating the blueberries from her farm.
This joke coming up.
Yeah.
Duke.
Pig Hero 6, Wrangled, Meowana, Giraffic.
So this is the new management for Good Times.
He sells DVD bootleg copies.
Oh, here we go. And here's the joke.
It's literally an inversion of the joke of his character in Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he ever do to you?
Well, she's now the godmother.
I mean, what did the weasel do to him?
Oh,
remember, Judy asked him a favor, and he
And I
did.
think Nick is eating the cake. Is that what he said? It's tea.
He made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Remember-
Godfather again.
Remember, Dweebs, Judy Hopps is now also the godmother to his soon-to-be grandchild.
The godmother.
So she's practically part of the family. And you mess with part of the family, you know what's coming.
Yep. Anyway, like I was saying, did you notice how Nick was eating the blueberries from Judy's farm? That's your hint to the fact that Nick Wilde, despite being a fox, is actually a vegetarian, confirmed by Byron Howard himself. So there you go.
Yeah. Don't eat them.
Judy never had a reason to fear Nick to begin with anyway. He's a vegetarian. So there you go. That's another thing that this movie brings to the table. Chemical war. Chemical. Go ahead, Joe. What you were
Chemical warfare?
Basically, let's just say this sheep is also played by John DiMaggio. In quite an interesting reference. It's a reference to Breaking Bad, because the two sheep here are called Walter and Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
So there you go. That's what's been happening. Someone is intentionally turning all predators into savages.
So, dogs Hitman Agent 47, but instead of killing them, it turns them into predators.
Yeah, Doug here is played by Richard Moore.
Oh. Yeah, how are they going to fit? Oh yeah,
It's on a train.
Okay. And then is this going to be a?
Punching it always works.
Oh my god! There's a reference to the end of Speed. The train's going to crash through the wall and.
It might be.
Oh.
Well, crud.
Ow.
Uh-oh.
Remember, you watch Speed. Just ran through the wall.
Well, that sheep got sheared.
Reminds me of the train set piece in Uncharted 2.
Okay. Now we're on top of a train, so it's a Bond film now.
Sure, why not?
Please.
Thank you.
There you go.
You told me to speed up.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, but now you're going to destroy all the evidence.
Not all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There goes the evidence. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice job. Yeah, he had the suitcase.
Ow.
Well, let's go.
All right. I guess we're home free.
Nah.
What are you talking about? The music says so.
Michael Giacchino can be a good liar.
The open.
Oh, look, it's Mayor Bellwether.
I'm actually more excited about
Wait
this.
a minute.
Yeah, that's a good question. How did you know where to find us? Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the mooks were a ram and sheep.
There you go, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Mayor Bellwether is the villain.
A corrupt politician. Who would have?
Yeah.
And gee, I wonder who that character is supposed to be an analogy for.
Her hairdo says it all.
All right. There is one thing that's a bit iffy about this, though.
What?
What?
This is the 4th time in a row that Disney have used the whole hidden villain plot twist spiel.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, remember, Joe, but they did it in
They used
Frozen as well. They did it in
Wreck-It
Big Hero
Ralph, they did it in
6.
Frozen, in Big Hero 6, and now it's in this film.
Well,
To be
Moana,
fair-
Moana broke that, though.
If it weren't for Moana, if it.
Hold on, let us listen to
Let
this
me
part.
speak.
It does feel a tad lazy.
Honestly, I don't really see it. I mean, okay. I'll give it this, though. In Frozen, it was done lamely. Not gonna lie, Hans
Oh,
was
here you
a
go.
crap
Listen here.
villain.
90% of the population. Donald Trump? Is that you?
I mean, like I said, she has the same hairdo. Honestly, though, this is a movie that is definitely suited for the hidden villain thing because it is a mystery plot, essentially. So it makes sense that the villain is hidden and not what you expect. Not to mention, also, again, Donald Trump. But yeah, in Frozen, it was done crappily. I'll give you that. I have not seen Big Hero 6 yet, so I do not know about
the Big Hero 6 one was probably... I would argue that one is even worse than Frozen, honestly, but...
Really?
Oh, shit.
Oh, snap.
Crap.
Oh.
I'm not down, I'm standing up. Okay, I'm down.
I knew those words would come
Yeah,
back
boy.
to haunt me.
Judy gonna die.
Oh no, it's Bambi, stuffed and mounted.
Jesus.
Yeah, she is Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump before nowadays because he's getting torn into a lot, but still Donald Trump. And I will use the power of fake news to make it seem like I'm a hero. No, wait, the fake news is supposed to be against me.
And... Oh, that's it. Movie over.
Well, hey,
Right.
as the beginning of the movie established, she is a thespian.
Yep. Ha.
Yeah.
Actually,
Guards,
shit.
guards, get down there and take the thing off her.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah.
remember, she called the police here, so...
He technically is telling the truth. And yes, as a comic that takes place after the film does show, they do let him out.
Look, I am J.K. Simmons. Would I lie to you?
Well, J. Jonah Jameson did have a policy about not spreading yellow journalism, even to the point where he actually did a retraction on a photo that would have gotten Spider-Man incriminated, where it turns out it wasn't true. So, yeah, I guess so. Hence the name. You could try anything, you might say.
Yes, it is.
And the tiger gets to be...
He's a jaguar twibs.
Mm-hmm.
A jaguar.
Tigers have stripes.
There you go. Nick is the first fox in the ZPD.
See, not all foxes are untrustworthy.
I thought they were gonna do like he becomes like a pilot. Fox pilot, the cloud.
It's funny because change was a thing that Obama talked about. Huh. Keen.
You'll get used to him.
Well, it has something to do with cars, though.
So we have to find a speeder.
All rabbits, bad drivers.
And there's the line that spawned a lot of creepy fan fiction.
Oh gosh, yes.
Guys. It's called interracial marriage. It's totally fine.
I can see that being the plot for a sequel, if it does happen.
FFT and ML.
Hold
Now,
on.
who the heck is this hot rod?
Flash?
Guess
So
the
that's where he
name.
gets the nickname from.
Can I
that face is
introduce
great.
you
That face is going to haunt me.
to a deal?
And now we get
we have-
and now we get Gazelle's full song.
Try everything.
Again, you're probably the most high-profile song.
They
High-profile song yet.
Well, it's Disney, so that tends to help.
They even included Shakira's trademark.
Well, look at that. Rich Moore actually also
Shakira's
was the director.
trademark. What
I already said that in the beginning, Jova.
was it? Shakira's trademark.
No. I'm was about to say, so he's both a director and a voice actor for this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway, what were you gonna say, Pedro? Shakira's trademark. What?
That thing where she shakes her butt in her shows.
Oh, right.
Did we really need a?
I thought-
There you go, dude. See, we saw right there. We saw right there in the credits. 8 story writers.
It's not twerking. It's just a simple and innocent
thought you were
butt
gonna-
shaking
I thought you were gonna say Shakira's trademark guitar or something.
and slow motion dancing.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
we don't. But whatever birds want to, they don't have paws.
Crud.
Put your claws in the air.
progress is slow.
Yeah.
Progress is progress, and progress must grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this song actually does work thematically. I mean, the theme is obvious. But for those who...
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Apparently in the UK version
Oh,
of
no,
this
that's-
theatrical.
Go ahead.
Anyway, in the UK version of this film, I think it was one of them news anchors had his voice replaced by a British newsreader.
Not just that, but
however, the home video versions didn't have that for some reason.
it wasn't even just in the UK. There were other countries where they replaced the news anchor to fit the country better.
Yeah. It's like in Shark Tale, we replaced the news anchor's voice.
Oh, that movie
Makes
is
sense.
awful.
I need to really get around to rewatching that movie. I really liked it, but it's been like a while since I've seen it.
Have we done that yet?
It's not as
No, we have not.
I can assure you, Jova, it's not as good as you remember it.
Let me put it like this. This was a movie that was definitely made for the year it came out. You know, back then it could be considered good. Here's the problem. It was made specifically for that year. So the main consensus is that it aged terribly. Not to mention the fact
aged the moment the year changed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw it when it first came out. I didn't even like it then. I always thought it was a fucking god-awful piece of crap. But
I
that's
enjoyed
the
it when I watched
Shark
it,
Tale.
but it's god-awful.
Alright.
It really is god-awful.
Let me put it like this.
There you go.
Yeah, Jennifer Goodwin.
Come on, Nick. There you go. So yeah, our cast, ladies and
Idris Elba,
gentlemen. Jenny
Jenny
Slate,
Slate.
Nate Torrance, yeah.
Smile a little. Come on.
Don Lake and Bonnie Hunt. And
Tommy Chong, who was also in Lion King. Keen.
Yep. J.K. Simmons,
J.K.
Octavia Spencer,
Simmons.
and of course Alan Tudyk. Wouldn't be a Disney Animation Studios movie without Alan Tudyk.
So who's the mayor now that the mayor is behind bars?
Again, Dwibs. He'll get out of jail, and then he'll be mayor again.
I doubt he'll be mayor again.
Oh, no, he will be mayor again. The comic that takes place afterward pretty much confirms.
But I thought criminals can't run for office.
Well, Dwibs, Dwibs, the idea was that, he was behind the plot.
Oh,
That
produced
was
by
what he was accused
Stargate?
Yes, why not?
Surprised?
Because,
Anyway, Dwibs, to clear things up, though, he was arrested under suspicion for being the one responsible for the out-of-control predators here and there. And yeah, while he did sort of try and... Here's the thing. He's going to be found innocent on those charges, and, well, double jeopardy is a thing. He can't get tried again for that. Essentially, consider it a clean slate.
Yep.
well, double jeopardy isn't a thing around.
Well,
Is
it
that
is a
thing-
thing in
is that a thing,
Zootopia, which is based off of America, Dwibs.
Anyway,
That was Zootopia or Zootropolis, as Bills
I forget,
prefers.
is there an after-credit scene?
No.
no.
Anyway, final
Alright, then,
thoughts.
sorry, how about you go first on final thoughts?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Fantastic movie. Like Pedro said, a lot more for adults than for children because they wouldn't really understand this. I mean, I'm sure they'd enjoy, the jokes enough. But,
Wait, Doug Walker was involved in this?
Sure, why not?
Maybe you meant another dog walker.
Move on.
Yeah. But this was kind of an unexpected thing from Disney, all things considered.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, you get a lot of the comments about people complaining how political, people don't like politics in their entertainment. But I didn't see those complaints for this movie at all.
Well,
It
it's-
helped at the time it was released.
Yeah, but still, you do often see those people. I didn't see that at all, though, when this came out. This is just... This happened,
Yeah.
and it needed to happen, I'd say.
It did.
It's,
You think this is something, Shiroi, they're going to push the envelope even further with Black Panther, also under Disney?
Well, remember, they nearly pushed the envelope a bit more with this movie, with the original idea they had, but they decided that it would be a bit too much.
Yeah, that would have
And
been
it
kind
was
of
a
a
bit too much,
Nazi
honestly.
society more than,
Yeah.
that.
Honestly, I think if they had pushed the envelope that little bit more, it probably would have ruined any enjoyment that this movie provided. And this movie provided a lot of enjoyment despite its... despite the point that it's trying to make. And out of the two movies that were released by Disney this year, the 2016, sorry, that time, this was the best one, I think.
Agreed.
It was the most memorable. And Moana is a fantastic movie, but this is something special, I think.
Yep.
There we go.
As for me, Like I said, this is my personal favorite movie from this studio, and yes, I'm including all 50 plus years of when I say that. Like to me, I've never seen a movie from them that is this movie is way better than it has any right to be. The fact that it can manage to tell a good mystery story that is approachable to any people, and at the same time have these incredibly mature themes and execute them in such a perfect way. Where it's just the right amount of restraint but it knows when to state itself. And the overall presentation is fantastic. The characters are immensely interesting and likable. The world building is astonishing. It's an animated masterpiece, and it's gonna go down as one of Disney's all-time greats, and it should, because it is a brilliant film that can be enjoyed, but by I think everybody. I think everybody can find something to enjoy in this film. It's absolutely brilliant. Go ahead, Lips.
In terms of I don't think I'd seen a. I think I can't remember the last time I saw a non, a Disney film at the cinema that wasn't Pixar since Dinosaur. I think before I saw this one. I think I might have misremembered.
All right.
Oh, actually, the Big
Big
Hero
6.
Big Hero 6 and Wreck-It Ralph.
There you go.
For better or worse. But so I wasn't sure what to expect for this one. Because at first I was expecting the whole. I was expecting all to just be making jokes throughout the movie, saying it's gonna be a freaking furry movie.
You know what? Honestly, I don't have a problem with furries here and there. I mean, so what? People have a thing for furry animals. Yes, I get that it can be weird, but hey, they still give us a lot of great art here and there, and so what if it's weird? Sometimes weird's good.
Anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed the film. Not as much as Moana as later on in the year, but I still enjoyed it for the reasons that you guys just mentioned.
Very well. Go ahead, Jova.
Nah, enough about it. Go.
Finish us off.
This movie caught me off guard. This is one of those movies that I was expecting it to be good, but not this good. Being someone who's black, I can definitely relate to being sort of on the receiving end of racism, to say the least. But it does a great job tackling it. It addresses the issue. It doesn't try and go, oh, it's all one and done solved. It's like, no, it's a legit issue, but we're actually going to try our darndest to deal with it. And my God, the allegories here are phenomenal. Again, the villain basically being Donald Trump. Yeah, that especially helped with it being in 2016. The jokes themselves are going to work here. And watching other movies certainly does help a few, like the Weasel and Wesselton one. That one's sublime. The references are pretty keen, and they're done in a way that works for the universe. In fact, that's one of the best things about this movie. It works best with how the animals work, and it doesn't leave you questioning, okay, wait, how does this or that stuff work? And on that factor alone, it does leave the room open for a sequel. We could see how more and different animals may actually function here and there. And there's, of course, plenty more topics to be had about it. It's like... oh, wow, this movie. The music is wondrous. The themes are there and apparent. And you know what? They don't go about trying to be subtle about it. I mean, the only difference is just animals. We still have to deal with a minority here and there, like in real life. Predators are the minority compared to the prey. And yeah, they get picked on for this stuff here and there. Again, this is a great film that does a good job addressing racism. Has good, but the fact that it's not just that, though, also helps. It has the theme, but it has a good bout of extra legit good storytelling to go with it. Even if you're not here for the allegories and the lessons and morals in there, you'll still have a pretty fun, blasting time.
Awesome.
So that was Zootopia. I loved it. Hoping for a sequel.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Oh. So yeah, that was Zootopia. I loved it. I'm hoping for a sequel. And okay,
well.
just when we thought things couldn't get even more in your face about it, well, as you heard,
Basically, everybody.
Before, Black Panther. But we'll talk about that later.
Basically, everybody, in the deleted scenes of the Blu-ray, there's a lot of deleted. There's a lot of them that are really good. However, there's one in particular that the internet absolutely loves, and we're going to comment on that one as a little bonus for you guys. So, if you have the movie on Blu-ray, just go to the deleted scenes and pick the Taming Party, and pause right before it even starts. You should be seeing a black screen.
Oh shit!
For context, this is what I was talking about earlier.
It's right there. Just go to that link. Okay, so basically, like I said, go to your Blu-ray, deleted scenes, the Taming Party. There you go. So whenever you're ready, just pause right before.
I am ready.
In the black screen, and you should be in sync with it. All right, 3, 2, 1, click. So yeah, in the original version of the story, like we just discussed earlier, there were colors, and we're going to see exactly how they worked. So yeah, in the original version, they were trying to get through this party that, again, this didn't make it into the final film, so we don't know the full context of this scene. But the point is, they're trying to escape this place.
Well, the test audiences are the reason we never got that cut.
Yeah, because they wanted, Byron Howard wanted the city of Zootopia, while be fucked up, still have quite a lot of good stuff about it as well. And the problem is that this got to a point where Zootopia was way too fucked up to even be a likable place. So,
I think the issue was it was way too far from being realistic enough for the morals to go through. Okay, you show a scene where everyone is treated like this, no, heck, the city is wrong. However, by making it more realistic and showing how subtly people can be segregated against, that helped it chunks.
There you go. This is, everybody, it's a Taming Party. There you go.
It's a bar mitzvah.
Basically, yeah. And yeah, he's turning into a big bear. Means he gets his own collar.
Which Nick has, as you can see right there.
Yeah, and you can see Nick has a collar in this version, yeah. Now notice the dad as he gives it to him. Because the kid is...
What's with the Arnie voice?
Also, even though it's just a storyboard, you can see Nick's face.
The color works with 3 colors. Green for it's fine, yellow for slight danger, and red for,
Get the fuck out of here. Pretty much.
Oh, and notice how the father just briefly activated the yellow. So you... Oh.
I think another good reason that they deleted the scene is let's be quite honest.
They didn't just the scene, they changed the plot altogether. But yeah.
The reason they changed the scene also is because, let's be quite honest, you want the audience to come into the city liking it. Because, a city on the surface wants to look good. Now,
also, this is what I was referring to earlier, too.
Yeah, so let's be quite honest. I mean, if you entered in the city where you have to wear collars and we know from the get-go it's that bad, that would kind of ruin the payoff, because that's kind of how it is in real life. It's more hidden.
He was just happy about apparently being, quote, accepted, and that's not even allowed.
But now he just found out that if he gets too excited, he gets a shock.
So there you go. Basically, the prey animals were complete evil assholes in this version. Because they forced predators to literally become eunuchs, basically.
Wow, that was a downer ending for this commentary.
Yay!
Should we have a lighter ending to lighten things up?
Sure.
If it's related, yes. If it's not, no.
Zootopia was a good movie. Sorry, Zootropolis was a good film.
It was a brilliant film indeed. Anyway,
Zootopia was a great film.
Anyway, everybody, see ya for Moana, I guess.
Whatever.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll get Zootopia 2 in the future. See you then.
I'm sure
See
it
ya.
will, considering the money it made. Anyway, see you, everybody.
See ya.